Howdy, Vern Warnke here, your Sheriff Coroner from Merced County. We've got another edition of our Tailgate Talks. Obviously, you guys know Detective Griffin here, and then I got Larry Borelli, local rancher and otherwise VIP for the area. And I asked Larry to come out here. Well, it's true. I asked Larry to come out and have a little chit-chat about what's going on, especially what's affecting him in the agricultural. So, Larry, like I said, none of this is scripted, so fire away. What's your concern with what's going on?
I think theft is probably one of the biggest in our area. A lot of hay goes missing, and it doesn't matter what size bales they are. We're constantly putting up cameras and trying to catch these culprits. It's the majority is basically it's one person on my ranch that's pretty consistent.
Do you think you know who it is?
Well, I have pictures, and that's why I was asking. Okay. I know Griff had mentioned at the gin that we, send in the information that we have, but I was trying like hell to get that license plate number and just reflections and the coyote that this person is. He's in one way and out down the drain bank another, and sometimes back out on the highway. Okay. And then my neighbors, same thing. They can put a 2-inch pump out to pump out a irrigation ditch, and 45 minutes later go by and you just see the hoses laying there in mid-daylight. They just drive up and throw it in the back of whatever vehicle it happens to be.
Well, Larry, this is a concern that we're aware of. We're treating it seriously. The hay theft is a kind of a unique issue because it's hard to track the hay as a commodity, and it's recently gotten much more expensive, and that makes it a more attractive target for thieves. One of the things that I'm going to bring forward and try and get implemented is and other counties do this and have success with it, no movement of hay by ordinance allowed at night. And I know it sounds silly, but that's actually kind of effective in deterring the crime.
Yeah, I noticed a friend of mine said that he had, I think it was 6 big bales picked up and loaded on a truck. So they had to have some kind of a squeeze out there to pick those up and loaded up and taken out.
And just so you're aware, we're not the only people dealing with this issue. I'm a member of the California Rural Crime Prevention Task Force, and this was brought up as an issue happening all over the state at our last regular meeting.
Now, Griff, is it been reported? I mean, where's the hay going? Is it some ranchers that are trying to get a good deal? Because I realize, Larry, you've been doing this a long time about the cost of doing business. Is it something that we have to be looking at as ranchers are buying this stuff? Is to help with their costs?
More than likely, it's unwitting victims that are, purchasing it, might be getting a good deal. They might be paying their regular price. We don't have enough information to say yet, but it's unlikely that the people that are stealing it at this volume are using it themselves. It's more likely for resale.
That's basically, I think it's more for their own use. They'll come in and they'll take 15 bales and they'll come back after they've used those 15 bales or so and make another load of another 15. I probably lost at least 5 tons in small bales out of my yard, which has a light on it. 2 men living there on the highway, off of the highway. It's an art.
It is an art, and I know that you live out in an unincorporated and where this thing's going on there. We've had farm watches, we've had all these things, but a lot of times that people, if they see something that looks so legitimate that it doesn't look like the guy with the mask on is going in and
2:35 and 2:45 in the morning is not a good time to be moving hay.
Yeah, you're
in the
right.
back of a pickup with a rack on it that looks like he's carrying lawn equipment.
And if we get that ordinance passed and we get that word out to everyone, you can't move hay at night, and one of our deputies sees people moving hay at night, we call that a clue in the industry.
Yeah. Now, do you have other counties that you've been working with that have done that?
Yes.
As far as the ordinance is concerned?
Yep.
Well, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's see if we can get some verbiage on what they've done to get an ordinance passed, and then we'll put it before our supervisors.
Will do.
You're right, Larry. At 2 o'clock in the morning, it's not a time to be moving hay.
No.
Now, Larry, I don't know. Are you familiar with what staffing issues we have going on at my office?
Well, I'm hoping your staff is growing.
Well, we're low on staffing. However, we keep things adjusted. Obviously, Griff's our ag guy, and trying to keep guys on patrol, corrections, and everything. So we are down. So, I will share this. If you get an opportunity to talk to our local supervisor out in this area, and you and I both know who he is, to encourage him to, think outside the box as far as what we need to get it done. We've got several agencies within the county that if they shut down for a month, nobody would know it. We can't shut down. So we're working on that. But again, with your position here, and you're very well respected, maybe you can get a phone call out and say, hey, what do we need to do? So we do need to do that. Before we get done here, is anything, Griff, you talk about the equipment and such that we need to share? Because a lot of our ranchers probably already know who you are by now, and we're working on that. You got anything you want to add?
Yeah, I sure do, boss. So the biggest thing that you can do to deter crime at your ranch, at your farm, is to make it as least attractive as possible as you can to the thieves. If you dig a ditch around your property, that's as good as a fence so they can't get a truck back into the back of your property. I know this sounds simple, but don't leave your keys and your equipment, folks. Can't tell you how many times I've taken a report of a stolen and the keys were left in it. Cameras, even if you're unfortunate enough to be the victim of crime, have cameras so that we have something to go on. Put up signs. No trespassing signs are very effective. At the very least, if we find people on your property and you do have that signage, we're more likely to get prosecution for it. If you need signs, get a hold of me. I will come out. I will put signs up for you free of charge. We also have a owner applied number program. I can assign an owner applied number to you and your ranch, and I will come out and I will mark your equipment for you, which greatly increases the likelihood of returning property to you if it is stolen. Please get in touch with me if you're having issues, and I will do my best to help you.
I'll have Michelle put your contact info in this video, So
the Merced County Sheriff's Office is pleased to announce that we're going to be the host for the 2024 Rural Crime School put on by the California Rural Crime Task Force. It is the only school of its kind in the nation focusing on rural crime, and we have investigators from all over the country that come to learn about how rural crime is handled.
Next month, December 9th, we're going to do Tailgate Talks, and my special guest will be St. Nick himself. Okay, so December 9th, it's on a Saturday. We'll be in Merced. We'll put every piece of information we have on that at that time, so we'll have a great time then. So thank you guys. We'll call it.